This is Mary Kilgus. This is my presentation on Hughesville, Pennsylvania, Little Slice of Heaven. Hughesville, Pennsylvania is in Pennsylvania, obviously, in the north central part of Pennsylvania. The population is about 2,200 people, and it is 98.6 white or Caucasian. Very little diversity. In fact, there's probably 2 black families that I know of, and they have little kids in school, but a lot of them are professors at the local college. Hughesville was settled in 1829 around a grist mill, which if you don't know what that is, it's some kind of flour mill or cornmeal mill or something like that, and has always been at about a population of 2,000. That's right, 1 street light. It's about here in north central Pennsylvania, which is really in the middle of nowhere, but we're close enough, probably about 2.5 hours from New York City, 3 hours from Philadelphia, and a couple hours from New Jersey. So we have a lot of crime here and mixed in with rural communities. I grew up in Southern California, so I know what some of you are thinking. But at least we're not as bad as Shunk. Shunk is about 25 miles from us, population 25. Doesn't even have a Wikipedia page and is in Google Maps as just a crossroads. Hughesville is in Lycoming County, which is about the size of Rhode Island, which I have pictured here. Hughesville is 130 miles from Philadelphia and 165 miles from Pittsburgh. I know what you Southern Californians are thinking. Wow, that's not bad. But it is. Because the only thing we have is 2-lane roads all the way to each place, unless we are lucky enough to be able to use 80. But the mountain roads are treacherous, especially in the winter, and the bear and deer sometimes jump right into your car, so no one takes trips lightly. Hughesville local government is a hierarchical chain of command that has not changed for 50 years, at least, and maybe not even since 1820. There is a borough council which consists of a borough president and 5 board members duly elected. This layout is voters, the mayor, and the council, who oversee public safety, public works, water and streets, whatever that means, and the borough secretary. The council president told me the borough secretary is her own division. On November 9th, 2015, I attended a borough council meeting at the borough office, pictured here. During the meeting, I met the borough president, Jeff Berger. I had the opportunity to talk with him about his experience in policy formation after the meeting. During the meeting, reports were made from the mayor, the police, the emergency management, the public works department, the water department, and zoning and codes department, plus the treasurer's report, which were each a perfunctory, nothing new comment. Then the meeting adjourned. I know of 2 issues Hughesville has to deal with. I've lived here since 2006. In 2011, we had a flood due to little or no stormwater management in the area. I've provided some pictures here. I don't know if pictures can adequately describe how devastating the flood was. Here you see a main road into one of our towns between here and Williamsport that completely washed away. You can see the depth of the water here, which in some places got to about 25 feet deep. The eastern part of Lycoming County sustained major flood damage. This was from the tropical storm Lee in 2011. The boroughs of Picture Rocks and Hughesville and the village of Glenmar had to be evacuated due to the flooding of one of our creeks. A bridge at the eastern end of one of our roads over another creek collapsed on September 8, 2011. The Lycoming Valley Railroad Bridge over a major creek in this area was heavily damaged by flooding, rendering it unusable. Heavy rain from this storm raised the creek higher than anything we'd seen in recorded history, according to a county official. Replacing the destroyed bridge on Pennsylvania 87 and repairs to the damaged railroad bridge and other roads were estimated to cost more than $25 million. And that doesn't count everything. 10 deaths related to flooding, $7 million in crop damage, $130 million in commercial and residential buildings. I spoke with Borough Council President Jeff Berger on November 9, 2015. He told me that he has been a council member for 17 years. In 7 of those years, he was council president. He told me that after the flood of 2011, the county implemented a storm water management system, but it only applied to new construction, nothing for the homes currently in place. Mr. Berger told me that he had no education in public management, no thoughts about strategic planning or SWOT planning or implementation of change. He acted as if he had never heard of such things, and I believed him. The next issue I know of is in the area of building codes and property maintenance codes. I asked Mr. Berger how the building codes were enforced, and he said the borough employed a service to inspect new construction. I asked him how zoning violations or building code violations were handled. He said the borough basically waits until someone complains and then they send a letter. I asked him if the council received many complaints, and he said no. This is a hair salon right on Main Street in Hughesville. The owner changed the commercial space into a residential space without getting any zoning change or having an inspection of the new construction, as Pennsylvania law requires. The windows do not open, a direct violation of the law. I brought this issue up to the borough president. He shrugged and said that if someone does not report it, they won't know about it. He referred me to the codes officer. Conclusion. I found that even in the face of disaster, the elected officials saw no reason to change or adopt changes or implement a strategic plan to prevent the disaster that we had just experienced. Hopeless. Hashtag, there is a lot of work to be done. Thank you, Professor Paulus.